10 things only noobs do. In today's video, we're gonna be diving into 10 of the things that only noobs do in Bullet Echo. And without wasting any time, let's get straight into the video. Starting right away, in first place we have taking all ammo at the spawn zone. I believe we have all experienced this. There's always that one teammate that takes all the ammo in the spawn zone and leaves all their teammates without ammo. Now obviously, ammo is the most important thing in this game, and without ammo, it becomes very hard for you to make any kills. So in my opinion, anyone that takes all the ammo at the spawn zone is not a good player, because that is not the best thing to do. And then we proceed to number 2. The other thing that noobs do in Bullet Echo is staying in the spawn zone for longer than they should. When the game starts, one of the best things you can ever do is immediately leave the spawn zone and go and find the different items you need, or go and look for enemy teams to destroy. Now, staying in the spawn zone is extremely dangerous because, first of all, not all the items you need are always going to be in the spawn zone. But then the second point is, it becomes very easy for experienced teams of enemies to immediately come to the spawn zone and destroy anyone who isn't ready or has not picked up ammo. So it's always a good practice to immediately leave the spawn zone the moment the match begins. Yeah, I guess that's it. And the third thing that noobs do, and this can get quite annoying, a lot of noobs that you'll come across usually fight for items that they don't really need. For example, you play with a hero like Slayer, and probably you're using Sparkle or Freddy, and you see the Slayer fighting for the extended magazine. And then you wonder, how is extended magazine useful to Slayer compared to Sparkle, who gets a faster reload time, and maybe Freddy, who gets more ammo in their magazine to make more kills? Why would Slayer, that fires one shot every 5 seconds, need an extended magazine? You know? Anytime you're playing any snipers, you should always avoid taking items that other heroes need. And this works in a lot of different scenarios. It would be absurd if you saw a Freddy taking up the armor from a hero like Bastion, who can have up to 5,000 armor, whereas Freddy can only carry around 200 armor. So Freddy doesn't really need to fight for items like armor with other heroes that need it more, or heroes that can give that armor passively to Freddy. For example, a hero like Satoshi can give his teammates armor. So when you're playing with Satoshi, you don't need to take that armor from him because he's already giving you armor. And within a few short seconds, your armor is gonna be full. So, yeah. And then we proceed to the fourth point. A lot of noobs that I've seen, including myself, have a bad habit of throwing grenades all the time and, throwing grenades everywhere for no apparent reason. This is one of the most dangerous things you can do in this game, because every time a grenade explodes, other players can locate where that grenade has exploded from. And that means they can come towards your direction, and if you're not prepared, they can easily take you out. So I wouldn't advise you to throw grenades everywhere for no reason. And that brings us to the fifth point. A lot of players that I see, after being knocked out, become completely useless. They don't look around with their flashlight, they don't show you where the enemy is. And, that's really not good, because sometimes after being knocked out, you can really still make a big difference in the battle by showing your teammates where the enemy is, or where the enemy has gone. So definitely keep that in mind from now on. Before we proceed, YouTube tells me that only a tiny percentage of my viewers are subscribed. If you like the content on the channel and would like to see more of it, feel free to hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel out and keeps us going. Moving on to number 6. The other thing that a lot of noobs do in Bullet Echo is getting too close with a shield. As you continue to play the game, you quickly realize that there are 3 heroes that use shields. There is Angel, Bastion, and Hurricane. Now for Bastion, sometimes you can make this mistake and get away with it, but when it comes to Angel and Hurricane, one of the worst mistakes you can make is getting too close while you're trying to use your shield. Even if the shield has been activated, yes, it can stop a lot of damage, but if you get too close to the extent where the shield enters into the enemy, then at that point, the enemy's gun is past the shield and they can directly shoot you. So when you're playing characters like Angel and Hurricane, even Bastion sometimes, try your best to keep your distance while you use the shield. All you have to do is to be close enough for the enemy to be shot, but not close enough for the enemy to go through your shield and destroy you. And then we proceed to the 7th point. The other thing that noobs do is running straight into a force field. Now, obviously, not every new player is going to know how every aspect of the game works, but if you've played the game for some weeks or months, you most definitely know that when you run straight into a force field, you can't move and you can't shoot. So every time you're fighting against an enemy blot or an enemy satoshi, it's never a good decision to run straight into the force field, because that will be the end of the match for you. It's very easy for that force field to trap enemies and prevent them from escaping or even attacking. Yeah, so keep that in mind in case you didn't know. Proceeding to the next point, the other thing that noobs do a lot is not grabbing enough ammo. Depending on the hero you use, not grabbing enough ammo can get you into a lot of trouble. Examples of heroes that struggle when they don't have ammo: you have Bertha, you have Sparkle. When you're playing these heroes, they use up their ammo very quickly, and if you don't grab more than enough ammo, you're going to be caught up in situations whereby you run out of ammo and your secondary weapon is not good at all, so you'll get destroyed very easily. And in the 9th point, the other thing that a lot of noobs do is they throw a grenade when they're being rushed. And this especially happens when they're using heroes like Freddy, Firefly, and Sparkle. When an enemy is rushing, instead of taking on the enemy and destroying them, they instead throw a grenade towards the oncoming enemy. But what you need to remember is, in the action of throwing the grenade, you can't shoot. So you make it much easier for the enemy to destroy you, especially if it's an enemy that does a lot of damage in a short time, like Freddy, Satoshi. When they're coming towards you, the last thing you should do is throwing a grenade. You'd rather take them on or run away than throw a grenade, because the moment you throw a grenade at them and they're almost reaching where you are, they're most definitely going to destroy you. Yeah, and that brings us to our final point. And this happens especially when you play in a sabotage game mode. In this mode, there are some players that pick up the bomb and instead of planting it, they go and start fighting enemies with it. This is very annoying and bad because it can lead you to lose the match. So every time you don't plant the bomb, you give the enemy an opportunity to take you out and then protect the bomb, which means it will be very hard for your team to get back that bomb and plant it, because the entire enemy team will be protecting it. Yeah, I guess that's it for today's video. If you have any other things that you think noobs do a lot that you'd like to tell us, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. And with that said, thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone, and that includes you. Who are you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody's right, yeah. So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then invest all of my time into that and proceed. I need whatever the hell could make me happy, and I don't think you have a clue what could that be. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense.